and today I want to present a very interesting topic. The topic is all about application of mind mapping in speaking skill, especially for secondary school students. First of all, I will present my ideas in terms of 9 main points, like this. Okay. First of all, let's start with the rationale of the research. Why I do this research, and what is the existing problem in Vietnam context? In Vietnam education system, all of the system are intensely test-based, and that is a teacher-centered approach. So the students are unwilling to share their problems publicly. And another problem is that they are very good at receptive skills, for example, listening or reading skill, but they are not good at productive skill. It's still a question. Next one, the next setback of the Vietnamese students is that what is the reasons why I want to do this research? Because based on the existing problem, and my own targeted learners are the school students, so most of them are visual learners. They have sufficient cognitive skills and have basic grammar knowledge to present their ideas. Next one is the plan of the research. In terms of the plan, I have an intention to organize a class of 15 students ranging from 6 to 8 grades. And the course will be conducted in 2 weeks with 2 sections per week. It will comprise of 60 sections, and it will fit with the student's interests. The following are the examples from my students' work. The first topic is study abroad. Next is the game shows. Then the topic of Tết holiday. By the way, Tết holiday is coming in Vietnam now. Next is the topic of TV programs. And last but not least, it's a topic of public transportation. You see, the students can be imaginative and creative to use different colors to write the illustrations, pictures, and symbols as much as they like. Next, the third point is the benefits of the research. The first thing I want to do is that I want to integrate the students' strength in receptive skill to make them improve their productive skill. Second, I want to boost their confidence, because they have to make the presentation by themselves like this, and they can tighten the teamwork and the people's solidarity like this one. And every member has to be assigned individually. Next, it can increase students' autonomy, because the task is distributed equally among students. And last but not least is the passion for language learning until the end of the course. The fourth point is the research questions. There are 3 main research questions that I want to convey. The first one is the common problems of speaking skill to secondary students. The second one is how to teach them strategically. And last one is the application of this method to the students. The fifth point is literature review. In terms of literature review, the problems of Vietnamese students in speaking skill is the existing problems. So I want to solve that problem. So my viewpoint is pragmatism, which is focused on solutions for the problems. And it was originated in 1870. it is very obvious that the author of mind mapping technique is Tony Buzan, and he ever told that mind mapping can activate the children's mind. It can make them more imaginative, more creative. It can boost their logical thinking, summarizing skills, everything that they can gain benefit from. The sixth point is the research setting. In terms of my classroom context, I am working for a private center named Trinh Hang Nga, and the student's age is ranges from 12 to 14 years of age. Actually, that is a kind of flipped classroom with complexity and diversity, like the illustration. The sample size is expected to 20 students. The seventh point is the methodology and the methods that I want to use. Because I act as a teacher and a researcher concurrently, so my research is an action research. And according to two researchers, chemists and Takat, action research is a continual cycle of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. That's why in data collection and analysis, I use three methods. The first one, I plan the written lesson plans like this. For example, I have the written lesson plans which fits for 16 sections. Then I do the real teaching. Then I use active observation. Active observation means sometimes I interfere the speed of teaching, or I modify the content of the teaching depending on the level of the students or the mood of the students. And I base on the observation guides like this. And last but not least, I reflect my teaching and my research via field note, and that is the field note example, which was conducted by Ari Kusmiatan. Like this. The next is the ethical issues. I have to send, because my working place is private sector, so I have to get consent form from the center's owners and the parents of the students, because all of my students are under the control of their parents. Next, I have to tell my students beforehand what will happen in the future so that they can expect. And last but not least, I have to hide the students' actual names. Instead, I will code their names into names and symbols, into numbers and symbols. Next is the potential problems. There are two problems that were encountered in my research. The first thing is that sometimes I unconsciously film or take pictures of the students, and the parents of the students get annoyed because they don't want their privacy and confidentiality being violated. So I have to ask them for approval beforehand. The second point is the sensitivity of the topic. There are some which are family issues or personal feelings, like a story of my student. Their parents got divorced since she was 8 years old, and she was very shameful to talk about the family issues topic, and that is the problem that I have to solve. And to solve that problem, maybe I still expose her case, but I will code her names into numbers and symbols. And last, after 16 section course, I want my students can gain the objectives that I mentioned before. And I want in the longer term future, I want my research and my innovation can be widespread on the larger scale, so that it can be inspiring for other teachers to apply it. And that is the references I use during my research. And that leads to the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.